Good morning, sis. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're having a great morning. What is now? Wednesday morning? How you doing? Happy Wednesday to you, my love. You know, so I should have start already. I may get up and there, flash my eyes on a couple of videos. I'm just started watching. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome into the morning live. Welcome into the morning live. We are going to be continuing. Your bright eye and bushy tail. Well, I don't know about your eyes, but I'm glad your tail bushy. Oh my gosh. This morning, we are going to continue the reading of Psalm 19. People know so Psalm 19 is very long. It is very long. Yesterday we read some parts of it up to verse 64, and today we are going to read on from 65. We are going to read on from 65 to the end. Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome into the morning live. Thank you so much for coming. We are reading the Bible. Those of you who are new here, guys, I got a lot of new people. I got a lot of new people in here. So y'all know the drill. For those of you who are new, just coming into the channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I sincerely appreciate your time. I hope you are enjoying the Bible reading as much as I am enjoying bringing it to you. Now, we do not endorse any particular religion or denomination on my channel, but what we're simply trying to do is to read the Bible for ourselves because basically, more than 97% of us have never read the Bible in its entirety. We have absolutely no clue about its contents. All we know is a verse here, a verse there. We may know a few books here, a few books there, but we have never read it to get the context of any of the conversations that have been printed in the Bible or the stories. Many of us have just ran with whatever we were taught or told. And so I want to break that stigma of people just repeating whatever they hear somebody says in the Bible and have us read it for ourselves so that we can be aware of what is in it, the context, who said what, who were they talking to, what were the circumstances surrounding the utterance. And we are coming to our own conclusion based on those facts. No made up stories. All right, guys. So welcome into the live. Follow along with me. If you missed out from Genesis to Psalm where we're at now, you might want to go back and listen. That's going to be a challenge because a lot of the videos have been an hour and more because we've had time to chat in between and all of that. So I'm sorry if you're just joining us at the book of Psalm, but welcome nonetheless. Now we are going to be reading Psalm 119 and verse 65. So follow along with me in your book Bible or your Google Bible. And tell me if the music is too loud. Why am I hearing the music so loud? I'm not sure. But let us begin. Psalm 119 and verse 65. Thou hast dealt well with thy servant, O Lord, according unto thy word. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now have I kept thy word. Thou art good, and doest good. Teach me thy statutes. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep my precepts with my whole heart. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in thy law. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Y'all know why I pause right there after reading verse 71? It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Now here, Irene, how are you doing, my love? Good to see you. Good to see you. Now, this right here is the talk of someone who feels poor in spirit. Have you ever noticed when someone feels poor in spirit, they take on all the blame as to why they why it is that they feel the way they feel. And they will ask God for more grace. It's like bargaining for a compromise. Because here the author says, it is good for me to have been afflicted. When is affliction ever good? It all depends on with what you are afflicted. But affliction is not good. But the person says, it's good that I am afflicted, that I may learn your statutes. So now that he's downtrodden, now that he's feeling the effects of not obeying God, he's saying, well, it's good because now I get time to stop and look and learn your statutes because now I have felt your vengeance. Letitia is here. Good morning, Letty. How you doing, my love? Good to see you. Welcome into the live, my darling. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday, but it's actually Wednesday morning. Good to see you, my love. All right. Then we're moving on to verse 72. The law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver. So the author now the author is feeling so indebted. He is willing to accept any form of affliction in exchange for the word. He says, the law of thy mouth is better to me than thousands of silver and gold. That really does sound like somebody who is lacking spiritually. Sounds like somebody who really wants to do the right thing, but needs some more conviction, needs some help, needs to be dragged in, if you know what I mean, to be dragged in kicking and screaming. Like, here I am, take me, Lord, how much more you want from me? I will take the affliction that you have cast upon me. I will take it because I want your word. Your word means more to me now. Why? But why did he wait until he was afflicted? Why did he have to wait until his God was angry at him and caused his enemies to be triumphant over him and all? Why did he have to wait until then? Is that something new? No, it's not. Have you ever seen people who I used to see it all the time when I was back home in Jamaica? People who live their lives, do whatever they want. When they get to 80 years old, they say, "Oh, now it's time to go to church. Now it's time." Because one foot is in the grave, one foot is out. Or they be raising all kinds of hell and then they get sick. And they sit there, they will get in a wheelchair or something. And say, it's a good thing me not a wheelchair, you know. Because if me never not a wheelchair, you know, me don't even have time. Me don't have time to call upon God. Me don't have time to pay God no mind. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. That's like where they come to their greatest compromise in life, where they start to give thanks, where they wouldn't otherwise be giving thanks. They get time to reflect. Oftentimes, it is when people are brought to their knees that they stop to even acknowledge God. No different is the author right here. He's thanking God for his affliction because now he gets time to listen to God's words. He says, "Now I get time to listen to your words. Now your words mean more to me than silver and think about it." Now let's move on to verse 73. Thy hands have made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn thy commandments. They that fear thee will be glad when they see me, because I have hoped in thy word. I know, O Lord, that thy judgments are right, and that thou in faithfulness hast afflicted me. Let, I pray thee, thy merciful kindness be for my comfort, according to the word unto thy servant. Let thy tender mercies come unto me, that I may live, for thy law is my delight. Let the proud be ashamed, for they dealt perversively with me without a cause. But I will meditate in thy precepts. Let those that fear thee turn unto me, and those that have known thy testimonies. Let my heart be sound in thy statutes, that I be not ashamed. My soul fainted for thy salvation, but I hope in thy word. Mine eyes fail for my eyes fall for thy word, saying, when wilt thou comfort me? For I am become like a bottle in the smoke. Yet do I not forget thy statutes. His thought process is, if you don't have a problem, you wouldn't know God can fix it. Ah, I tell you, God, I tell you, now that he has a problem, he's finding the time to stop and acknowledge God and acknowledge God's presence and begging for God's mercy and presenting himself now as being available. Oh, Courtian is here. Good morning, Courtian. How are you doing? Is the music too loud, guys, or is it just me? Verse 84 says, how many are the days of thy servant? When wilt thou execute judgment on them that persecute me? The proud have dug pits for me, which are not after thy law. All thy commandments are faithful. They persecute me wrongfully. Help thou me. Here the person is bargaining with God, If you have to ask the question twice, then maybe it is. Now, this person, it sounds like he's bargaining. He's trying to bargain with God. He's saying, thank you for afflicting me like this. Now that you have afflicted me, I have time to study your word. But still, where are you? My enemies have set pit for me, set traps for me. Where are you? Why aren't you destroying my enemies? This is like going round and round because all I've been reading the psalm, the different authors of the psalm have been calling out to God and begging him to show up, say to their God, like, where are you? Our enemies have encompassed us. Why are you allowing them to reign over us for so long? And here the author is no different. Now he's in his bargaining phase, and he's sort of caressing. He's sort of caressing God to see if he can placate him enough. He can sweet him up. He can sweet talk him enough for him to show up. Or the music you're thinking about. Oh, the music. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can't bother with you, no, God. God, we can't bother with you, sis. Lord have mercy. To me, the music sounds loud. And I think it's just at about 20. So it's loud. All right, that might be better. So now the author is caressing and placating God so that he can get favor. So that he can get favor from him. Verse 87 says, they had almost consumed me upon earth, but I forsook not thy precepts. Quicken me after thy loving kindness, so shall I keep the testimony of thy mouth. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Thy faithfulness is unto all generations. Thou hast established the earth, and it abideth. They continue this day according to thine ordinances, for all are thy servants. Unless thy law had been my delights, I should then have perished in mine affliction. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. I am thine, save me, for I have sought thy precepts. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceedingly broad. Oh, verse 97. Oh, how love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day. Now, do you think that a person who loves the Lord, follows his teachings, and serve him in everything they do, do you think they really have to tell him what they do? Talk to me. Do you think if you are following the teachings and preachings of your God, do you think you have to tell him that you are serving him every day? You don't have to tell him. He would have already known that you are serving him every day. So right here, it tells me that the author is trying to sweet up God, to try to sweet mouth God, trying to placate him in some way, to say, see, look what I have done. Look, sister, me serve you every day. Sister, me read your words. See all when me do. Now, what you gonna do for me? What can I say Joe didn't? Me have to ask you for explanation card because we don't know where you are saying. Me have to ask you for explanation before me say something else. Let us continue reading. Psalm 119, for those of you who are just coming into the live, we are on to Psalm 119 and verse 97. Oh, how love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day. Thou, through thy commandments, hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts. I have refrained my feet from every evil way, that I might keep thy word. Oh, you said Job didn't have to tell God all that he did. I was just thinking right there. Well, this author is certainly telling God everything that he has done. Verse 100 says, I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me how I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me. How sweet are thy words unto my taste, yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through thy precepts I got understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. I have sworn, and I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Lord, according unto thy word. Accept, I beseech thee, the free will offerings of my mouth, O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. My soul is continually in my hand, yet do I not forget thy law. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I erred not from thy precepts. Thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart. I have inclined my heart to perform thy statutes always, even unto the end. I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love. Thou art my hiding place and my shield. I, I hope in thy word. Depart from me, ye evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God. It sounds like this person is having a real struggle with himself. The author here is having a real struggle with himself. God says, yet God told Satan how upright he was. Oh, well, yes. God did tell Satan, because for those of you who are just coming, if you go back and read the beginning of the book of Job, it was a conversation between God and Satan, and God told Satan how faithful Job was, and um, and Satan asked God, told God, not didn't ask God, he swore to God, saying that he bet if God were supposed to take away all of Job's riches and his children and anything else, how much Job would turn on him in an instant. And God said, go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try it. Take everything from him. Just don't take his life. And so, if you go back and read the story of Job, that's what God is talking about. That God knew that Job was an upright man. Here, it's totally different here because is this author here in Psalm 119 is it's not God saying to him, you are a faithful servant, you are worthy of my grace. It's the author presenting himself on a platter, to so to speak, to God, to say, listen, oh, my sister is here. Trina. Good morning, my love. How are you doing? Good to see you, Trina. Good to see you, my darling. I hope everything good for you. Good for you. I'll text you later, Trina. Okay, so as I was saying, so Mr. Trina, I get excited. Me forget which part me did there. But but to the contrary of what I was saying prior to hailing up my sister here, to the contrary of Job, here is this author. This author here is presenting himself to God. And in presenting himself to God, he is actually telling God all that he has done. Why wouldn't God have known? Why wouldn't God have known what you have done? Why would you have to come in and say, I did this, I did that, I did the other? If your mom leaves the house and she leaves your chore list for you to do. When she comes, you don't have to say, Mom, I washed the dishes, I swept the yard, you don't have to say all of that. You don't have to. She will see. She will know what you did and what you didn't do. But this poor author, he is begging, basically, and pleading with God to look, to see what he has done. And that's a sign of pure spiritual desperation right there. Verse 16 says, uphold me according unto thy word, that I may live, and let me not be ashamed of my hope. Hold thou me up, and I shall be safe, and I will have respect unto thy statutes continually. Thou hast trodden down all them that err from thy statutes, for their deceit is falsehood. Thou puttest away all the wicked of the earth like dross. Therefore I love thy testimonies. My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments. I have done judgment and justice. Leave me not to mine oppressors. Verse 122 says, Be surety for thy servant for good. Okay, be surety for thy servant for good. Let not the proud oppress me. Mine eyes fall for thy salvation, and for the word of thy righteousness. Deal with thy servant according unto thy mercy, and teach me thy statutes. I am thy servant. Give me understanding, that I may know thy testimonies. It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. Therefore, I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above fine gold. Therefore, I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right. and I hate every false way. Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore doth my soul keep them. The entrance of thy words giveth light, it giveth understanding unto the simple. I opened my mouth and panted, for I longed for thy commandments. Look thou upon me, and be merciful unto me, as thou usest to do unto those that love thy name. This author seems so desperate, poor thing. This author seems so desperate for favor. Him sound like you ever work with some people and them are like the managers. I don't want to say what I really want to say, but I don't know what I talk about. Them have to run, go to the manager every minute to say, "Oh, did you see that I picked up? I changed those sharp containers. Oh, did you see that I got rid of that broken chair? Oh, did you see that I picked up? Oh, the floor was wet. I wiped it up. Oh, you never work with them exhibitionist workers, co-workers. They get on my nerves. They make me sick. Everything they do, they gotta make an announcement. Oh, I went into the room and I emptied your patient's folly. Oh my God. They make me sick. They just have to make an announcement with every single thing they do. As soon as management come around. Oh, there was a somebody left a cup right here and I picked it up. Oh, I went into the room and the bed alarm wasn't on. Oh, I I saw the patient. They just got so. Oh Jesus, I cannot stand them. You are at work, my golly. If you pick up something that was in the right place, you pick it up. Why you got to make an announcement? Nobody know what here. Nobody know business. Why you gotta make and as soon as management come around, you hear them and say, I read out all kinds of things that they did. As though nobody else do nothing, and them alone do everything. This author here reminds me of somebody like that. You hear him present himself to God. Desireen, bless up yourself. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Yeah. Him do everything where nobody else has done. Let's read verse 131 again. We're going to read from 131. I opened my mouth and panted, for I longed for thy commandments. Look thou upon me and be merciful unto me, as thou seest to do unto those that love thy name. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Deliver me from the oppression of man, so will I keep thy precepts. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant, and teach me thy statutes. Rivers of waters run down my eyes, because they keep not thy law. And now we've gone to the extent. He said, when you hear the hyperbole there, he said rivers of water running down the eyes because the other people are not keeping God's law. So he's crying. And he got to tell God that he's crying. He got to present himself as though he is more righteous than anybody else. So rivers of water running down his eyes because the other people are not keeping God's law. Like, seriously. Let us continue reading. Verse 137 says, Righteous art thou, O Lord. Hear him go on with the caressing again. Righteous art thou, O Lord, and upright are thy judgments. Thy testimonies that thou hast commanded are righteous and very faithful. My zeal hath consumed me because mine enemies have forgotten thy words. Thy word is very pure, therefore thy servant loveth it. I am small and despised, yet do not I forget thy precepts. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Trouble and anguish have taken hold on me, yet thy commandments are my delights. The righteousness of thy testimonies is everlasting. Give me understanding, and I shall live. I cried with my whole heart, hear me, O Lord, I will keep thy statutes. I cried unto thee, save me, and I shall keep thy testimonies. I prevented the dawning of the morning, and cried, I hoped in thy word. Mine eyes prevent the night watches, that I might meditate in thy word. Hear my voice according unto thy loving kindness. O Lord, quicken me according to thy judgments. They draw nigh that follow after mischief. They are far from thy law. I can't go by the rivers of Babylon. I tell you, I tell you, this author here is certainly pleading his case. That's what he's doing. He's pleading his case to God. So he has to go over everything that he has done that he believes is righteous in the sight of God. He says in 151, Thou art near, O Lord, and all thy commandments are truth. Concerning thy testimonies, I have known of old that thou hast founded them forever. Consider mine affliction and deliver me, for I do not forget thy law. Plead my cause and deliver me. Quicken me according to thy word. Salvation is far from the wicked, for they seek not thy statutes. Great are thy tender mercies, O Lord. Quicken me according to thy judgments. Many are my persecutors and mine enemies, yet do I not decline from thy testimonies. I beheld the transgressors and was grieved, because they kept not thy word. Consider how I love thy precepts. Quicken me, O Lord, according to thy loving kindness. Thy word is true from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments. Have persecuted me without a cause, but my heart standeth in awe of thy word. I rejoice at thy word, as one that findeth great spoil. I hate and abhor lying, but thy law do I love. 7 times a day do I praise thee because of thy righteous judgments. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. Lord, I have hoped for thy salvation, and done thy commandments. My soul hath kept thy testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. I have kept thy precepts and thy testimonies, for all my ways are before thee. Let my cry come near before thee. Lord, give me understanding according to thy word. Let my supplication come before thee. Deliver me according to thy word. My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteous. Let thine hand help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee, and let thy judgments help me. I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek thy servant, for I do not forget thy commandments. No, poor fellow, this poor fellow is absolutely desperate. He is. Now, it's what we have read, it's not what Trevor said. Okay? This fellow here is absolutely desperate. He really wants God to pay attention to him. He's desperate for God's attention. And with that desperation, he is begging God. Just look at me now. Look how me I try to serve you. Look how me I serve you. Pay attention to me now. Have mercy upon me now, please. You all hear it in his voice, right? You all hear the desperation in his voice as he pleads his case before God. I follow your commandments. I follow your precepts. I accept your judgments. It is I, Lord. Tend to me, please. Attend to me, please. I am doing everything that you want me to do. Can you do for me what I want you to do? He's trying to bargain with God. And that is the end of Psalm chapter 119. For those of you who are just coming into the live, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for coming. If you're not sure what we do here every single morning, we read the Bible over here. That is what we do every morning. If nothing else, we are reading the Bible not because we are in the business of converting anybody. We are definitely not. We are trying to understand the Bible for ourselves. To read it for ourselves is to understand it for ourselves, because the Bible is so influential on every aspect of our lives, but we ain't spending the time to read it. And some people would love to read it, but they cannot be bothered. They don't like to read. So I am here to read it for us. Okay? So you got to come back each morning for the reading. We are going to move along. We are going to move along. What is. Hold on, the people. As early as the morning light. Mm. Give me a second, the people. Say what? Okay, I can't tend to this right now. Let me come off of the live. I tend to that. You can't tend to that right now. Can't tend to that right now. All right, my lovely people. Oh my word. Here is Jappy from Jappy Sport. Jappy, what's up? Good morning, my darling. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here, Jappy. We are continuing the reading of the Bible. We are on to Psalm 120. Psalm 120 says, In my distress I cried unto the Lord, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given unto thee? Or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. Woe is me, that I sojourn in Mesech, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar. My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. Here is the reading of Psalm 120. Now let's move on to Psalm 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which maketh heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalm 120. So juniper makes good coals. I guess it does. I guess it does. Ain't that a kind of tree that you can burn to make coal? But I don't even know. Do you know that tree? I don't even know it. Psalm 121 is one of your favorites. All right, since it's one of your favorites, I'll read it again for you. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Here ends the reading of Psalm chapter 121. Let's move on to Psalm chapter 122. I was glad when they said unto me, let me go into the house of the Lord. Let us go into the house of the Lord. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built as a city that is compact together, whither the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. They shall prosper that love thee. Peace be within thy walls, and prosperity within thy places, thy palaces, for my brethren and companions' sakes. I will now say, peace be within thee. Because of the house of the Lord, our God, I will seek thy good. Here ends the reading of Psalm 122. And now we move on to Psalm 123. This is another this says a song of decrease. Now, for those of you who are just coming, now remember the Psalms are different, are poetry, different writings by different people. These were selected by whoever compiled the Bible. These were the poems and songs that they selected to put in the book of Psalm. Psalm 123 says, Unto thee lift I up mine eyes, O thou that dwellest in the heavens. Behold, as the eyes of servants look unto the hand of their masters, and as the eyes of a maiden unto the hand of her mistress, so our eyes wait upon the Lord our God, until that he have mercy upon us. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, have mercy upon us, for we are exceedingly filled with contempt. Our soul is exceedingly filled with the scorning of those that are at ease, and with the contempt of the proud. Here ends the reading of Psalm 123. That's a very short one there with only 4 verses. Psalm 124. Let's move on. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, how how may now may Israel say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us, then they have swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. When the waters had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be the Lord, who hath not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken, and we are escaped. Verse 8, and this is the last verse of Psalm chapter 124. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Here ends the reading of Psalm 124. We are moving on. Psalm 125. They that trust in the Lord shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. As the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so the Lord is round about his people, from henceforth even forever. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. Be good, O Lord, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts. Verse 5 says, as for such as turn aside unto their crooked ways, the Lord shall lead them forth with the workers of iniquity, but peace shall be upon Israel. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Here ends the reading of Psalm 126. And we're moving right along to Psalm 127. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. Is it waketh or should it be watcheth in vain? Well, the Bible said waketh. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. Here ends the reading of Psalm 127. And we are moving on to Psalm 128. Psalm 128 says, blessed is everyone that feareth the Lord, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be be well with thee. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants round about thy table. Behold, behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord. The Lord shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life. Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. Psalm 129. Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth. May Israel now say, many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, yet they have not prevailed against me. The plowers plowed upon my back, they made long their furrows. The Lord is righteous, he hath cut asunder the cords of the wicked. Let them all be confounded and turned back that hate Zion. Let them be as the grass upon the housetops, which withereth afore it groweth up, wherewith the mower filleth not his hand, nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom. Verse 8, and this is the last verse of Psalm 129. Neither do they which go by say, the blessing of the Lord be upon you. We bless you in the name of the Lord. Now, Lord, we are flying through these Psalms like both this. Exactly, exactly. Because they are like 5 and 6 and 8 verses of the Psalm. I mean, what's there to really even elaborate about? So we just read the Psalm and take our blessings this morning and keep on moving. Keep on moving. We are going to go on to Psalm. We are going to read this morning all the way on to Psalm 1. Yeah, we're going to read to Psalm 139. May as well, because these Psalms are very short. So we'll just read them and take the blessings where they come. So let's move on to Psalm 130. Psalm 130 says, out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplication. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, will who shall stand? But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayst be feared. I wait for the Lord, my soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waiteth for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. I say, more than they that watch for the morning. Let Israel hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption, and he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. Psalm chapter 131. Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty, neither do I exercise myself in great matters, or in things too high for me. Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child. Let Israel hope in the Lord from henceforth and forever. Here ends the reading of Psalm 131. That was only 3 verses, my friends. Only 3. But let us continue. Guys, don't forget, it's a whole Bible. We have to finish reading. A whole Bible. So let us continue. Lord, remember David and all his afflictions. So now the author has begged and pleaded enough. Now we gone back to David. Now he's using David as his cash card right now. He says, Lord, remember David and all his afflictions, how he sware unto the Lord and vowed unto the mighty God of Jacob. Surely I will not come into the tabernacle of my house, nor go up into my bed. I will not give sleep to mine eyes, or slumber to my eyelids, until I find out a place for the Lord, and in an habitation for the mighty God of Jacob. Lo, we heard of it at Ephratah. We found it in the fields of the wood. We will go into his tabernacles. We will worship at his footstool. Arise, O Lord, into thy rest, thou and the art of thy strength. Let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, and let thy saints shout for joy. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away the face of thine anointed. The Lord has sworn in truth unto David, he will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne. If thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them, their children shall also sit upon thy throne forevermore. For the Lord hath chosen Zion, he hath desired it for his habitation. This is my rest forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it. I will abundantly bless her provision. I will satisfy her poor with bread. I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy. There will I make the horn of David to bud. I have ordained a lamp for mine anointed. Verse 18 says, his enemies will I clothe with shame, but upon himself shall his crown flourish. Shay Shay! Shay Shay, what's up? Here ends the reading of Psalm 132. Welcome into the live, guys. Welcome into the live, everybody. We are reading the Bible, as you all know, in an effort to understand it for ourselves and to make ourselves abreast of its content. So far, we have come from the book of Genesis. So those of you who are just joining, you have missed out because we have come from the book of Genesis and now we are practically in the middle of the Bible onto the book of Psalm. And this morning we are reading all the way to Psalm 139. And now we are on Psalm 133. Psalm 133 says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in iniquity. It is like the precious anointment. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments. Oh, wow. So Aaron's beard went down to the skirt of his garments. Oh, wow. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Here ends the reading of Psalm 133. And we are moving on to Psalm 134. Psalm 134 also has 3 verses. Behold, bless ye the Lord, all ye servants of the Lord, which by night stand in the house of the Lord. Lift up your hands in the sanctuary and bless the Lord. Verse 3 says, the Lord that made heaven and earth, bless thee out of Zion. Here ends the reading of Psalm 134. Now let's move on to Psalm 135. 35. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the name of the Lord. Praise him, O ye servants of the Lord. He that stand in the house of the Lord, in the courts of the house of our God. Praise the Lord, for the Lord is good. Sing praises unto his name, for it is pleasant. For the Lord hath chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. For I know that the Lord is great, and that our Lord is above all gods. Whatsoever the Lord whatsoever the Lord pleased, that did he that did he in heaven and in earth, in the seas and all deep places. He causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings for the rain. He bringeth the wind out of his treasuries. Who smote the firstborn of Egypt, both the man and beast? Who sent tokens and wonders into the midst of thee, O Egypt, upon Pharaoh and upon all his servants? Who smote great nations and slew mighty kings? Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, king of Bashan, and all the kingdoms of Canaan. Now, for those of you who have been here, those of you who have read your Bible on your own, y'all remember when you hear these words, Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, king of Bashan, and all the kingdoms of Canaan. Y'all remember when Moses and the children of Israel exited out of the wilderness of Zin, and they exited on the east side of Canaan, on the east side of the river Jordan. That's where they exited out of the wilderness. They slew Sihon. Sihon was the king of the Amorites at that time, and they slew him, slew the people there, and took all the people's riches. They did the same thing to Og, the king of Bashan. They did the same thing. They slew him and they slew all his men and all his people and took over his country as well. And everybody else who was in that vicinity on the eastern side of the River Jordan were slain. And then they went across the River Jordan into Jericho, where they did a whole mighty slaying again. And they moved on, the country of Ai and everywhere else. They slew those kings. So here they are praising their God, because they are saying it was their God who slew these kings in their favor. Verse 12 says, let's read verse 10 again. Who smote great nations and slew mighty kings, Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, king of Bashan, and all the kingdoms of Canaan, and gave their land for an heritage unto Israel his people. So here the author is again caressing God. Yeah, you remember? Yes, this is our God. The same God who slew is the same God who take us out of Egypt, the same God who um, did what he did to Pharaoh, who slew the firstborn son and the firstborn male beast, and did all these things that their God had done for them. And here he is sort of reliving the whole thing. He's sort of, I don't want to, I don't want to say stroking God's ego, but that's exactly what it is. He's stroking the ego of his Lord. You see, all the things that you do for us, slay all these people for us, and gave their land, and gave their land for a heritage unto Israel, his people. Verse 13. I say no more about verse 12. I say no more. It says, and gave their lands for a heritage unto Israel, his people. And you see why down in the Middle East, they will never stop fighting over land? They will never stop fighting over land. It's been happening from Bible days. Verse 13 says, thy name, O Lord, endureth forever, and thy memorial, O Lord, throughout all generations. For the Lord will judge his people, and he will repent himself concerning his servants. The idols of the heathen are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Neither in there any breath, neither is there any breath in their mouths. They that make them are like unto them. So is every one that trusteth in them. Bless the Lord, O house of Israel. Bless the Lord, O house of Aaron. Bless the Lord, O house of Levi. He that fear the Lord, bless the Lord. Verse 21, and this is the last verse of chapter 125 of the book of Psalm. Blessed be the Lord out of Zion, which dwelleth at Jerusalem. Praise he the Lord. The Lord which dwelleth at Jerusalem. I guess Jerusalem is the place where their Lord dwell. He don't go nowhere else. He don't go anywhere else. Only to Jerusalem. Ain't that something? Think about it. Think about it. I'm not here to plant doubts in anybody's minds. I'm just reading the Bible and giving my take. My take don't have to be your take. But ain't that something? That's really something, ain't it? They always refer to their God in Jerusalem. So apparently their God isn't anywhere else. You notice that as we have been reading, when the author is asking God to bring back the children of Israel together, you notice that they always ask for God to bring them back to Jerusalem. It's never visit them wherever they are. It's never help them to serve you wherever they are. It's bring them back to your place, to your home, to where you dwell in Jerusalem. Bring them back. So I guess unless they are back in Jerusalem, whatever service they have done to their God, it's in vain because they have not come back to Jerusalem. That's just a thought, not scripture, just a thought. Uda Grant, Ray Grant, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. I cannot believe it is Wednesday already, but it is. So happy Wednesday to you, my love. Good to see you. Good to see you. You're coming to come get some Bible reading in your soul. You really need some deliverance. You gonna get me? Oh my God! The next one who needs some deliverance is Kenzie. I went there. Him need some too, but it's too early now. It's 7 o'clock, 7:30 for us. And Kenzie is also Kenzie probably just a wake up 5:30 for him now. But we are going to continue, my friends. We are going to continue. We are moving on to Psalm. Yeah, blessings to you too, Grant. We are moving on to Psalm chapter 136. So you all follow along. You can follow along with me in your book Bible or your Google Bible. All right. Psalm chapter 136 says, "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks unto the God of gods, for his mercy endureth forever. O give thanks to the Lord of Lords, for his mercy endureth forever. To him who alone doeth great wonders, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that by wisdom made the heavens, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that made great lights, for his mercy endureth forever. The sun to rule by day, for his mercy endureth forever. The moon and stars to rule by night, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that smote Egypt in their firstborn, for his mercy endureth forever, and brought out Israel from among them, for his mercy endureth forever. With a strong hand and with a stretched out arm, for his mercy endureth forever. To him which divided the Red Sea into parts, for his mercy endureth forever, and made Israel to pass through the midst of it, for his mercy endureth forever, but overthrew Pharaoh and his host in the Red Sea, for his mercy endureth forever. To him which led his people through the wilderness, for his mercy endureth forever. To him which smote great kings, for his mercy endureth forever, and slew famous kings, for his mercy endureth forever. Sihon, king of the Amorites, for his mercy endureth forever. And Og, the king of Bashan, for his mercy endureth forever. And gave their land for an heritage, for his mercy endureth forever. Even an heritage unto Israel his servant, for his mercy endureth forever. Who remembered us in our low estate, for his mercy endureth forever. Verse 24, and hath redeemed us from our enemies, for his mercy endureth forever. Who giveth food to all flesh, for his mercy endureth forever. Verse 26 and last. O give thanks unto the Lord of heaven, for his mercy endureth forever. All right. Yeah, yes, Trina. That is where the altar, that is where the altar is. But do you have to be at the altar for you to get blessing and grace? We need some too. We need some blessings. Of course we need it. Who don't need blessings? We all need it. We all need blessings, my love. Now, Psalm 136 was basically uh, a repetition of Psalm 135. But after each statement, it says, for his mercy endureth forever. For his mercy endureth forever. Let's move on to Psalm 137. Psalm 137 says, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remember Zion. Wow! Psalm 137 says, by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hung our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, singing, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? Oh, remember that song there? Verse 5 said, If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, Raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Oh yeah, the children of Israel the children of Edom wanted to destroy what the children of Israel were building. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Verse 9 says, Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. Here is the reading of Psalm 137. And Sister Tisha has a big question. What's the question, Sister Tisha? What's the question? Because you're not alone with questions. We all have questions. Tell me what yours is. Type it and tell me. Because we have 2 more chapters to go for this morning. We are going to read Psalm chapter 138 and 139. Now guys, Auntie Trev is not here. I'm preaching. I am only reading the Bible for us to understand it for ourselves. Alright. I am not trying to indoctrinate anybody. We are just reading it for ourselves. Okay? So follow along with me, the book Bible, your book Bible. And if you like to preach what you don't like to read, I'll read it for you. And then you follow along and you get the words out of preaching. No, but I get because Christ Church was set up in Jerusalem. That's where they should be. That was Sister Trina. I agree. Remember, they said that Jerusalem is their chosen place where their God lives. That is the area where they consider to be holy, to be most holy for the Jews. That's where they said their God dwelled there. That's where the Ark of the Covenant. That's where David had built that elaborate not David, but Solomon. Solomon had built that elaborate house where the Ark of the Covenant was set up to be forever and ever and ever. So that is their place. And no wonder Christians of today believe that for you to reach the pinnacle of your Christian faith, you have to visit Jerusalem at least once in your lifetime. Because people really don't think that they have reached the pinnacle of their Christian faith unless they have visited Jerusalem. Just like the Muslims, unless they have visited Mecca. They don't believe that they have reached the pinnacle of their religious faith. So it's very symbolic of their faith that they return to Jerusalem. I am echoing. I don't know why I echo. I have no idea. Maybe I chat too much. That's why I'm not echo. Oh Lord. Oh my God. So let's move on now to Psalm chapter 138. Psalm chapter 138. I will praise thee with my whole heart. Before the gods will I sing praise unto thee. I will worship towards thy holy temple. and praise thy name for thy loving kindness and for thy truth. For thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name. In the day when I cried, thou answeredst me, and strengthened me with strength in my soul. All the kings of the earth shall praise thee, O Lord, when they hear the words of thy mouth. Yea, they shall sing in the ways of the Lord, for great is the glory of the Lord. Though the Lord be high, yet hath the respect unto the lowly, but the proud he knoweth afar off. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt revive me. Thou shalt stretch forth thine hand against the wrath of mine enemies, and thy right hand shall save me. Verse 8 and last. The Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. Thy mercy, O Lord, endureth forever. Forsake not the works of thine own hands. Here ends the reading of Psalm 138. Tisha says, wish everyone a great day. Okay, Tisha, I hope you have a great Wednesday too, my love. I'm going to be here with us a little bit for the next 15 minutes. The next 15 minutes I will be here, and then we are going to be continuing the reading of Taken by the Flood. We are going to read that for another few chapters, and then the rest of the day I'm going to be hanging around. I'm going to have a little live later. I'm going to do I don't like to edit. I bought some things on Temu. I'm gonna have a live and show them. I can't be bothered with the editing, and I gotta go to my job. I got a million things to do, but I'm going to do the reading and the Temu thing before I even leave the house. So stick around, those of you who have time, because we're going to go from one thing to the next, so that we utilize as all the time that we have as best we can. All right, so we are going to move right along. That was just a little interlude there, gentle people. We are going to move on to Psalm chapter 139, and actually, this is the last chapter that we are reading for today. Psalm chapter 139. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain unto it. Wanna hear that? Let's read that again. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I mean, HIGH. It is high. I cannot attain it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. Really? 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 Wanna hear that? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. And if I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance are not hid from thee. When I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth, thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. Psalm said this is this is the Psalm of David. What Sheshe said, thank you, Trevor, reading this morning. Thank you for helping and encouraging. I really appreciate. You are so welcomed, my love. You are welcomed, and I thank you for coming in and listening. I sincerely thank you, my love. What time will be the live later? So listen. After I finish reading the Bible, this live, I'm going to do another live back to back with the reading of the book. Because you know we gotta read a novel. Yeah, I can't be over here reading by myself. I gotta read for us to work with us. So we're going to read the novel, the Agatha Christie novel for an hour, and then after that, then at about 9:20, about 9:20, I'm going to do the live with whatever it is that came in that Timu bag. Yeah, so that is going to last for about an hour. And then I'm going on the road, coming back, and the Wednesday evening live, I'm not sure what time later, because I'm not sure what time I'm coming back. So there you have it. You all know what I'm going to be doing today. We are going to continue reading Psalm 139. We are on to verse 18. It says, if I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. Verse 24 says, and see if there be any wicked ways in me, and lead me in the way, in the way everlasting. You all know that prayer verse, that prayer chorus that said, search me, O God. Search me, O God, and know my heart, we pray. Try me, O Savior, know my thoughts, I pray. See there be some wicked ways in me. Cleanse me from every sin and set me free. We used to sing that at church all the time. Ah, who him a call bloody? What can't say? Ah, who him a call bloody? He killed and had more blood on his hands than anyone else. Aha! I see, says the blind man. I see, says the blind man. Let me read it again. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. Mm, mm. All right. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. At this time, so when this is what I talk to God, and you hear me say, he hate the people them with a perfect hatred. With a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. And now in verse 23 it says, search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. See if there be any wicked ways in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. How contrasting can that be? Him just present himself and say, this, David, that's why that's why, that's why, that's why he couldn't build the Lord temple. So the Lord didn't want him to build the temple. Yeah. The Lord didn't want David to build the temple at all. Mm-hmm. Him said David was one of his trusted servants. Him said David was one of his trusted servants. And the only thing wrong, the Bible says so many things. So many things. If you don't read it all, you will not hear all the things that the Bible says. It said the only one thing David did wrong was that what he did to Uriah by causing the death of Uriah so he could get Bathsheba, Uriah's wife, to marry. But Solomon was the child born to Bathsheba and David. Solomon was the one who ended up building the tabernacle, building the temple, because there was lots of blood on David's hand, Lots and lots of blood was on his hand. But the Bible said the only thing he did wrong was what he did to Bathsheba, what he did to Uriah to get Bathsheba. So for those of you who have been following, Mr. Cad is a good student, Mr. Cad, I you want at the front of my class all the time. If help me, I help the others. Yeah? Because Cad got nothing whatsoever. Yes, so guys, this is where we come to the end of the reading this morning. And it is ironic that we should end right there with David saying he hates these people with a perfect hatred. And then he asked God to search him, search his heart, and see if there be any wicked ways in him, and lead him in the way forevermore. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Killing Uriah and taking Bathsheba was not the reason why he couldn't build God's temple. So he is. So how is that? Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, God. You understand? God, God, so your teacher's pet. Exactly. That could not have been, even though the Bible says that was the only sin that David committed, it cannot be true. It can't be true, because all the other things that David did, that David was not worthy
David was not worthy to build the temple. And so all he could do was use his power to acquire the cedar from Lebanon, the fir from Lebanon, the all those trees. Asaph was the keeper of the forest, so he had to get permission from Asaph to get all those lumber and stuff that the forest can afford for the building of the temple. So he really was instrumental in collecting the raw material for the temple, but he was not worthy of building the temple. You understand? David was a womanizer. David couldn't satisfy. David had 300 wives and 700 concubines, and was still looking for more even when he was still looking for more wives and more concubines. You understand? God said, the Bible specifically said that the reason why God did not allow him to build this temple is because he had too much blood on his hands. Exactly. Exactly. He said David had too much blood on his hands. So you don't want David to build the temple. And I mean say it and I mean make it up, you know. Trina said we are not perfect. You see, you coming in just like the author of the previous chapters we read this morning, the earlier chapters. Yeah, we are not perfect. So that is it's a perfect consolation for us. Hey, it's okay for me to sin. I'm not perfect. It's okay for me to talk junk. Oh, I'm not perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my word, I tell you, we are definitely not perfect. So you are right. But if that's your excuse, yes, that's your word, that's your excuse, we are sticking to it. Okay? That is where the reading. She always back me up. Petrina, she always back me up. She always remember the teachings from the classes before and even help me to remember them when we don't have them written down. She always help me to remember them. So of course, yes. What Petrina say is like Saul was another kettle of fish, of course. And David had his runnings with God as well. So in the end though, guys, in the end, David, oh yes, God, he was a womanizer. He was a womanizer. A pretty woman passed by him for a second. If you want to have 300 wives and 700 concubines, how you service all of them? What? 300 wives and 7 concubines. You understand? So he was a womanizer. So there was things in David's lifestyle with David's action that didn't please God at all. Didn't please him at all. And that is why he said, David was not going to be able to build the temple. But he still said David was one of his most trusted servants. So take it how you may. All right, take it how you may. And that's going to be the end of the reading for this morning, guys. Remember, I am going by time because time is important. So I have to go by time. So that is the end of the reading of the Bible for this morning. Join me again tomorrow morning when we will continue the reading from Psalm 140, Psalms chapter 140 onwards. All right. For those of you who came into the live, I want to say thanks to everyone who came in. I sincerely appreciate you all for your love and support. Now, don't forget, if you didn't hit the like button coming in, don't forget to hit the like button going out. Don't let me have to beg. But please hit the like button on your way out if you didn't hit it on your way in. I sincerely appreciate you. Grant and Trina, Carl, and Tisha, and JJ, and Winsome, Joe, and the Gigi, and oh my God, so many of you are here today. I sincerely appreciate you all. Thanks again. Tisha was here. Tisha, have yourself a great week, my love. Desiree and everybody else. My sister Irene and everybody else who came into the live. I sincerely appreciate you. And the silent listeners, those who did not say a word, I appreciate you too. All right? Go ahead and have yourselves, guys, the best day that you all deserve. And I will see you all in a few minutes. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, everybody. Oh wow, why is it not playing? Trina, you're not easy, you know. Trina, you are not easy. Oh my Jesus.